Hello friends, my name is Sarah. I'm the artist and maker behind Denim Rain. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Holy cow, it is 2023. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was going to record a makes of 2022 video today, but it is so dark and gloomy here in Western Washington, like so dark, and it's so windy today. So we're just gonna do a projects video. I'm gonna share what I've finished recently and some things I've recently cast on and what I'm working on. Huge thank you to everybody who watched all my Vlogmas videos and all the people who came and watched my last projects video and subscribed. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened, but my last projects video like blew up, like had 7,700 views or something like that. Most of my project videos get like maybe 1,000, maybe a little bit more every now and then. So I was just like, what? I don't know why or where all the people came from. But hello and welcome to all of you newer people. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. It's amazing. Yeah, and let's get into it, shall we? Okay, I'm wearing a finished thing. I am wearing my champagne cardigan by Petite Knits. Yeah, it is fabulous. I have knit this out of Lion brand Wool Ease, which is an 80% acrylic, 20% wool blend. It's a nice budget-friendly yarn. Let me kind of scooch back here. Here it is. Oh my goodness. Again, it's dark and moody here, so get a moody. I mean, it kind of is like perfect as far as the color goes. Yeah, it is super good. It does not have buttons yet. I'm actually pouring resin buttons as we speak. They're curing for this. I'm going with a dark gray coppery type buttons that will go on it. I am a little... Okay, let me sit down and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about the pattern, the yarn, how this experience went for me versus last time, because I have knit the champagne cardigan before. Last time I made a couple of modifications. One of them being I made more balloon sleeves in the other one, and then I also like added some width to the neckband at the top. This time I basically followed the pattern exactly. I don't think I made any modifications. I mean, I knit this. I never follow a pattern for sleeves. I don't think I've ever like knit one to pattern. I just decrease until like I'm comfortable with the sleeves and knit to a length that I'm comfortable with. I like long sleeves because I like to tuck my hands in, so like I can pull them down all the way over my hand, which makes me really happy. So, but it's nice and loose and wide. I do wish it was a touch wider. Like I decreased a couple of rounds right before the cuff, and I kind of wish I hadn't done that, but I don't mind it. It's still like really big, where my other one, I keep looking over there because it's my other champagne cardigan is sitting over there. My other cardigan, I can't like put my hands in and like stretch them out like that, so I really like that I can cozy my hands in. It's really great. Things I like is the yarn. The yarn is perfect, I think, for this cardigan. It's very cozy and cuddly, and I don't know, I kind of want to make another cardigan out of Lion brand Wool Ease. It's so comfy, and I haven't washed it yet. I have blocked it, but usually after a few go arounds in the washer and dryer, it softens up a lot. So yeah, thing I'm annoyed with is for some reason, the first cardigan I made, the button band went perfectly. The first time, did it, had no issues. This time I got about halfway down the buttonhole side and I had to rip back because I had obviously picked up too few stitches, which I could have sworn I picked up every stitch, but apparently I didn't. And still I went back and I like, even in a few of them, I feel like I double picked up, it's still snug. And I went up needle sizes, 2 needle sizes from what's recommended in the pattern, and I still feel like it's a little snug, and I blocked it pretty aggressively. I don't mind that it pulls it up in the front a little bit because like you have the button bands in the bottom, like you normally would be straight, but it kind of like pulls it up a little bit, which I kind of don't mind because then it makes the back longer, and then like I want the front a little shorter. So I don't mind that so much, but what I can't stand that it's doing is flipping in. It keeps turning in. Why? I don't know why it's doing that. My other one doesn't do that. And like, look at how nice it looks on the inside actually. Look at how good that is. It's like really smooth, really nice, and it's like, sorry, it's really hard to do this while I'm wearing it. And it's like really nice and seamless around the outside, and all the stitches picked up were really good. So I don't know why the heck it's doing that. It's the most annoying thing ever. I'm hoping maybe after washing it a few times, it'll maybe relax the yarn a little bit more, and then also putting buttons on it and being able to button it will make a difference. I also made an oopsie and put my buttonholes in the wrong spots. I went carousing past a couple of my stitch markers, and so it's a little bit higher. The buttonholes go a little bit higher than I would have liked. I would have preferred, instead of being right here is the last buttonhole, I wish it could have been like right here, but it's not. It's up here, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. Like I can handle that. I just probably won't button the top one, just have the bottom 3 buttoned when I button it. But yeah, it's good. I love it. I've already worn it every day since I finished it. I finished it in 2022, literally an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes before the new year. And I count like finishing an item as like binding off. Like I don't count needing to weave in ends and block. I don't count that as finished. The moment it is off the needles, it is finished. So I finished it in 2022, which makes me very happy. So I sewed it up and blocked it on the 2nd. It is now the 5th, and I've worn it every day since then, and I love it a lot. I can't wait to get the buttons on it so I can try buttoning it, and then I might actually huck it in the washer here soon to try and see if that'll relax out the freaking button band. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so the next finished thing I have are my son's mittens. I got them done before Christmas, but I did not give them to him for Christmas. I forgot. I wrapped up all the kids' gifts, and like a couple days later I realized I never gave my kids their knitted things. I don't know how I forgot. Yeah, so these are the world's simplest mittens by Tin Can Knits. I'm pretty sure that's the pattern. I just made my own modification. I cast on and did 2 rounds with a collar at the bottom, and then picked up the stitches for the thumb and just knit the thumb in a color. I use Lion Brand Heartland in a dark gray color. I don't remember the color name. And then this is just some leftover scrap yarn that I used for the thumbs and the cast on. And I think they're really cute. They fit him perfectly, which I'm very happy about, because the next finished item I have does not fit perfectly, which makes me very sad. I had a feeling as I was knitting it. I finished my daughter's raglan, and it is way too small. Not like way too small. Like the body actually fits her pretty good. It's a little snug and could use like an extra inch. And then the sleeves are just sausages, just sausage casings. Like they're so tight and they're too short, and ugh. But here it is. I've showed it several times. There's the color work on it. I basically just modified a basic raglan. I added color work to the bottoms of the sleeves. Since I had forgotten to give my kids their Christmas knits, I pulled it out. And I was like, well, I still need to weave in the ends and stuff. But I was like, let's pull it out. And I put it on her. I was like, holy crap, that's too small. Like, no amount of blocking is going to fix this hot mess. So, I'm going to just set it aside and save it for somebody else. I told her, I was like, I could rip out the sleeves to probably here and just knit them straight down to the cuff. That would fit her good. And then rip out the bottom and knit another inch or two. But even then, it's still going to be a little bit tight. I mean, my daughter is like a little beanpole. She's so freaking scrawny and tall that like having a slender sweater is not a bad thing. But I just don't want to. It's like perfectly proportioned for a normal sized like 7 or 8 year old. There's actually no such thing as a normal sized kid. There's no such thing as a normal sized human. Everybody's different. So like, she's just too tall and skinny. She's too tall. And apparently I overestimated her skinniness of the arms because those are too skinny. So yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna save it. My sister-in-law is going to be having a baby girl. This obviously is not gonna fit a baby, but I can hold on to it until baby girl gets a little older, and I will give this to her. Probably when she's like 5 or 6, because this will probably fit a 5 or 6 year old. Unless she's big, or unless she's super teeny, then it maybe fit her when she's 10. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, over that, I told my daughter, I went fishing through my stash, and I'm like, I'm not gonna knit that sweater again. So I went digging through my stash. I found some fabulous yarn, and I was like, how about this? Do like these 2 colors together. I'm gonna do a color block sweater. And she's like, yes, I like that. And she thinks the yarn is really soft. So it's all good. It's all good. And I'm more excited about the other colors and the type of pattern I'm gonna knit anyways. And then I'm gonna knit it big. It's gonna be huge. No, it's not. But I'm gonna be pulling, like actually going into her, like, I'm going to take measurements this time. I didn't take measurements last time because I was like, oh, I want it to be a surprise. Dumb me. Dumb me. So I will be taking measurements before I start knitting. And yeah, and then give a good amount of extra room for growth. Because I swear it always, by the time I'm done knitting a kid's sweater, they grow. So anyways, let's move on to what I've been working on, still working on stuff. I have a half finished object. Wow, that's really showing up very warm colored on screen. So I have finished one of my socks. This is Bella Filato Studios in the colorway Noel, pretty sure Noel. And then this is Studio Q, the Asher base in Juniper. And this is my hopper socks pattern. It's got a fun texture on the front with some like broken rib down the side. Yeah, and then I just knit the heel in the same color because I want to knit a pair of socks out of this color with like a mustard heel toe and cuff. So I want to only use a little bit of that so I have enough to knit another pair of socks. So this sock, like so much grief, oh my goodness. I cast it on so many different times with so many different needles and so many different sizes because my gauge is all over the place. Let me tell you, my gauges continue to be all over the place. The first part of the sock was very loose, and then as we get lower, it gets tighter. I have not blocked it yet, so normally I don't block socks, but I will be blocking these socks because, normally I knit a DK sock on a 3.25 millimeter needle, usually. Maybe a 3 millimeter. If I'm a little loosey-goosey or if I'm a little tight, I'll go up to a 3.5. This one I did on a 2.75 because I was so friggin' loose, and I think the yarn was just like very slippery compared to what I was knitting with at the time, that it was just... So we went down to a 2.75. And then my gauge continued to be all over the place. Tight, knit, tight, knit, tight, loose, tight, loose. Ah! So yeah, it fits. It is snug. The top part is actually fits the best. The rest of it's snug. So my next one, we will see. I'm gonna check my gauge. I'm gonna cast on with a 2.75 in the cuff because this yarn is a tad bit heavier than this one. So I'm gonna cast on with a 2.75. And then I'm gonna see about going up to 3 millimeter for the rest of it. Hopefully, I'm gonna knit like this much of it, and then I'm gonna check my gauge to see if it matches this one. We will see, but oh my lord, I am over that friggin' sock. So I haven't cast on the second one yet. I was hoping to have that pair for Christmas. That obviously did not happen. Okay, my next project is one that I'm putting on hold for a brief moment, cause I'm bored of it. This is another Christmas sock. Bam! I'm just doing a basic 62 stitch vanilla fingering weight sock. I have at the top, this is Patton's Croy. It's a red colorway. I think it's just literally called red. And then this is Pacific Northwest Purls in the, I think it's retro Christmas color. And then I'm currently on the heel flap. On here I have my Simply Serving Santa Progress Keeper, which I love him. He matches the project perfectly. Yeah, so I'm just, because it's after Christmas now, I'm just kind of bored of them. Plus I have something else I've been like knitting primarily on. Whoa. Sorry, it's very windy and there's like things like blowing all over the place, so I keep getting distracted. So yeah, I'm putting these on a brief hold, mainly because I'm working on something else, but I want to finish these. I would like to finish them, at least one sock this month, and then I'd love to finish the other one. But at the moment, I'm currently not feeling socks. I knit a lot of socks last year, and a lot of socks that didn't fit me. I'll talk more about that in my 2022 makes video, I think. But yeah, I just kind of, I'm over the socks at the moment. So I'm just setting those aside, and I'm not feeling guilty about it. I'm just knitting what I want to knit. It's like the goal for this year is knitting what I want to and not feeling pressured to knit things to finish them or whatever. Let me show you what I'm currently working on and loving very, very much. Okay, so I cast on a crocheted sweater in December, then realized I didn't like it. So I have not ripped it out. It's just sitting currently. And because one of my goals for this year is to be a lot more intentional with what I make and really make things that I like. I know there are certain shapes that fit me better. I know there are certain shapes I'm just going to wear more. I know what style I like and I don't like, and I'm trying to be intentional about knitting those things and not just knitting something because I have an idea that sounds cool and just making it and then it not working out and then not liking it and knowing I won't wear it. Like, why would I knit that? So I'm trying to be more intentional. So I was like, as I was crocheting it, I was like, it would probably be really cool. It was going to be a hybrid like crochet / knit project. It was going to have some knit and crochet elements, which I was excited about, but I was so excited about that idea I didn't really stop and think about, is this yarn and this project gonna work? And the answer was no. So I stopped. And then I cast on something different, which I am super stoked about. I gotta make sure I don't lose stitches. I forgot to put needle stoppers on these, and this yarn is super slippery. Ta-da! I cast on this sweater on the 2nd, I think, and I have already split for the sleeves. I yesterday knit from, it's very floppy yarn, which I really like actually. This Progress Keeper, I did half of the raglan increases and then split for sleeves. My kids are back to doing homework and I homeschool my kids, so when they need a lot of help, I sit and I knit while I'm helping them. And they needed a lot of help yesterday, so I got a lot done. I'm not following any pattern. This is just a basic raglan. I do plan on, at the end of the sleeves, like probably from here on, doing a seed stitch. We'll see when I get there how I feel about that idea. I might knit a few rounds and see if I still like it or not. But it's, yeah, just a basic raglan. I've got some short row shaping happening in the back to raise up the neck. On here I have some fun little Progress Keepers for something I plan on maybe doing later on this year. I want to do like a space collection really bad, like really, really bad. So these are just a couple of testers that I had, but let's talk about the yarn. The yarn is Cozy Wool Tweed by Loops and Thread. This is a yarn, I think Loops and Thread is Michael's brand of yarn. I think, I'm not 100% positive, but this was like a exclusive last year type yarn. I'm sure you could probably still find it on like Etsy or eBay or in people's destashes. This is the color Cinnamon. It is fabulous. Now it is called Cozy Wool Tweed, but let me tell you, there's like no wool in this, like not even kidding. So the content is 66% polyester, 30% acrylic, and 4% wool. Yeah, there's like no wool in this. It's like they have wool in there just so they can call it wool. But it's really soft and fuzzy, and I love all the different colors in there. You have cinnamon, there's some little spots of red and creams and grays. It's not showing up on camera, but there's some like very subtle like purple, dark blue. We'll call them dark blue. So yeah, it's a very pretty yarn. It's very soft. I wanted something with a nice loose gauge. Okay, my husband came in, and I get very self-conscious when people come in and I don't remember where I was. I'm trying to knit this at a looser gauge, so I'm knitting it on metal needles, 5.5. It recommends like a 5mm needle, I think. So yeah, it's really nice. Let's see if I loose fabric. So it's very stretchy, it's very drapey. I've realized, one of the things I've realized is I don't like dense stitching. I don't like anything that has structure. I want things that are more loose and relaxed on me. So I have a few sweaters that I've knit that are just very stiff feeling. So I'm trying to be intentional about that, making sure whatever garments in it have a looser gauge so they're more relaxed. Anyways, this raglan, I'm super excited about it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I have this finished by the next time I do a projects video, because it is flying and it's the only thing I'm currently working on because I'm not feeling the socks and I'm really feeling the sweater. So I do have a test knit that I'm going to be a part of, hopefully. Like I know I'm in, it's just like depending on the yarn situation. There's a yarn situation happening that I have to kind of get figured out. But I am possibly going to be doing that test knit. So I am excited about that as well. So we'll see what happens there, because if I start doing that soon, I will probably put that on pause just so I can make sure that I get the test knit done in time, because I like to have the whole thing finished by deadline. Even though it's not always required, I get stressed out and I like to have it done in time. I like deadlines, actually. Deadlines help keep me structured, especially when they're not my own deadlines. When there's somebody else giving me a deadline, I stick to it usually. When it's me setting a deadline for myself, that's another story. I have a painting to show you. It's actually just a work in progress. It's not a finished painting. It's big. So back here, over there, I have a winter painting, and I like to rotate out my paintings with each season. It is obviously still winter, but I wanted something a little less snowy, a little more frosty light snow for up there. So I'm doing So I'm doing a light frosted like one. I'm in the middle of adding a million branches to this tree. And then once I'm done adding all the branches, then I'll go back and add like the frosted coloring to it. But yeah, I think it's really pretty so far. I'm hopeful it turns out. I did finish another painting in one of my notebooks, but I didn't bring my notebook over here for the one painting. It is in my last video. I did a 2022 recap of everything I painted in my sketchbooks. So If you haven't, go check that out. It's got all of the artwork that I've finished this last year, and I love looking back at all of it. I just do a brief description of each painting, how I feel about it and stuff. So go check that video out. For some reason, that video is not performing very well. So go check that one out. I'm very excited about it. I love sharing my art, and I want to share my art more over here. So yeah. And then I have not acquired any new yarn. I have ordered some yarn to make a summer item, and then another sweater, and then a hat. There's a color of yarn I've been really wanting to make a hat out of, so I've ordered that. And then I've started work on some winter progress keepers. I've got this little sheep with snowflakes. How friggin' adorable is that? I don't know how well it's focusing. Oh, it's so cute. I'm working on those. It's not been sanded and it's not fully cured yet. It's still a little bendy and stuff. It's because I pulled it out of its mold too soon because I was excited and wanted to see what it looked like. So yeah, I'm working on some of those. We'll see. I'm hoping to maybe do that. A very tiny restock with a couple of progress keepers here in January. And then I have another thing I'm super excited about telling you guys, but I'm waiting because I want to make sure I get the details all before I tell you about it. But it's really cool. I'm excited, and it's an in-person thing. Okay, yeah, very excited. I'm like gonna explode over here. I wasn't sure I was gonna do it, but then I'm gonna do it. And yeah, and you're over there like thinking, Sarah, this is so mean. Why won't you tell us? Again, I want to get some more details before I say I'm for sure doing this thing, because if there's some details I think absolutely heck to the no, then well, then it's a heck to the no. But yeah, anyways, very excited. Just know I'm excited. Life stuff, not a whole lot of exciting stuff going on. I'm happy December is over. I was really enjoying Christmas and stuff and the preparing. I was kind of sad to take all my Christmas decor down, but at the same time it made me excited for the new year and just a fresh start. And I'm trying to let go of some things, which is not always working out so hot, but yeah, I've been listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobooks. I'm almost done with the Two Towers. I've been loving it. I have lots of thoughts and opinions on the books versus the movies. Not as many as I feel like some people, but I've formulated some opinions so far. We'll see as we get to Return of the King. We'll see what happens after that one. And then my husband and I have recently watched some new movies. What did we watch? We watched we started to watch that Bullet Train movie on Netflix. We got bored partway, like the first like half hour in. We're like, okay, this is not like doing anything exciting for us. Like there's too much setup. There's way too much setup. So we were just kind of like, okay, can we stop? So we stopped watching that one. And then we've watched The Glass Onion. So good. So good. Love Daniel Craig. He's amazing. And that accent he's got, that fake American accent, is just, it makes me laugh. Yeah, the whole cast was just absolutely amazing. Of course, no spoilers because it's a mystery and that would just be not cool. So yeah, Glass Onion on Netflix, super good. And then we also started watching that new show. It's not really a show, it's like a mini series, Treason. Really good. We've only watched the first 2 episodes, but we're really enjoying that. So yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on. Just back to homework with the kids, getting ourselves into a routine, trying to get myself back into a good routine, just with everything, not just homework and knitting and work stuff, just like all of it. So yeah, I hope you all had a good holiday season. If you didn't, I'm sorry, and I hope your new year gets so much better and 2023 holds all the goodness. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. You guys are amazing, and I hope you have a beautiful day and a beautiful new year.